Every civilization leaves behind a legacy in the form of myths, sometimes enacted in rather unusual ways. Passion Play by Roger Zelazny. Read by Karl. At the end of the season of sorrows comes the time of rejoicing. Spring, like a well-oiled clock, noiselessly indicates this time. The average days of dimness and moisture decrease steadily in number, and those of brilliance and cool air begin to enter the calendar again. And it is the good that the wet times are behind us, for they rust and corrode our machinery. They require the most intense standards of hygiene. With all the bright baggage of spring, the day of the festival arrives. After the seasonal limitations come the sacred stations of the Passion, then the bright festival of resurrection, with its tinkling clatter, its exhaust fumes, scorched rubber, clouds of dust, and its great promise of happiness. We have come here each year to the place to replicate a classic. We see with our own lenses the functioning promise of our creation. The time is today, and I have been chosen. Here on the sacred grounds of Le Mans, I will perform every action of the classic which has been selected. Before the finale, I will have duplicated every movement and every position which we know occurred. How fortunate! How high the honor! Last year many were chosen, but it was not the same. Their level of participation was lower. Still, I wanted so badly to be chosen. I wished so strongly that I, too, might stand beside the track and await the flaming Mercedes. But I was saved for this greater thing, and all lenses are upon me as we await the start. This year there is only one car to watch. Number 4, the Ferrari analog. The sign has been given, and the rubber screams. The smoke balloons like a giant cluster of white grapes, and we are moving. Another car gives way so I can drop into the proper position. There are many cars, but only one car. We scream about the turn, this great Italian classic of 2 centuries ago. We're all here at the place, regardless of whether they were held originally. O God, master of creation, I pray, let me do it properly. Let my timing be accurate. Let no random variable arrive to destroy a perfect replication. The dull grey metal of my arms, my delicate gyroscopes, my special gripping hands, all hold the wheel in precisely the proper position as we roar into the straightaway. How wise the ancient masters were! When they knew they must destroy themselves in a combat too mystical and holy for us to understand, they left us these ceremonies in commemoration of the great machine. All the data was there, the books, the films, all for us to find, study, learn, to know the sacred action. As we round another turn, I think of our growing cities, our vast assembly lines, our lube bars, and our beloved executive computer. How great all things are! What a well-ordered day! How fine to have been chosen! The tires, little brothers, cry out, and the picking of small stones comes from underneath. 0.3 of a second, I shall depress the accelerator an eighth of an inch further. R7091 waves to me as I enter the second lap, but I cannot wave back. My finest functioning is called for at this time. All the special instrumentation which has been added to me will be required in a matter of seconds. The other cars gave way precisely at the right instant. I turn, I slide, I crash through the guardrail. Turn over now, please, I pray, twisting the wheel, and burn. Suddenly we are rolling, skidding upside down. Smoke fills the car. To the crashing noise it roars with no receptors, the crackle and lick of flames is now added. My steel skeleton collapsed beneath the impact stresses, my lubricants burning, my lenses, all but for a tiny area, shattered. My hearing mechanism still functions weakly. Now is a great horn sounding and metal bodies rush across the field. Now is the time for me to turn off all my functions and ceased. But I will wait. Just a moment longer. I must hear them say it. Metal arms drag me from the pyre. I am weighed aside. Fire extinguishers play white rivers upon the car. Dimly, in the distance through my smashed receptors, I hear the speaker rumble. Von Trips is smashed. The car is dead. A great sound of lamenting rises from the row of unmoving spectators. The giant fireproof van arrives on the field, just as the attendants get control of the flames. 4 tenders leap up and raise the car from the ground. A fifth collects every smoldering fragment, and I see it all. Oh, let us not be blasphemous, I praise. One instant more. Tenderly the car set within the van. The great doors close. The van moves slowly, bearing off the dead warrior out to the gates of the great avenue and past the eager crowds, to the great smelter, the melting pot, to the place where it will be all melted down and sent out, a piece used to grace the making of each new person. A cry of unanimous rejoicing arises on the avenue. It is enough that I have seen all this. Happily, I turn myself off. The end.